y'all, and welcome to Skyrim Scripting. On this episode, we are calling other modder scripts from our scripts. Sweet! It's gonna be so much fun. This is where things really start to get exciting, especially next episode. We're going to write scripts that other modders can call if they use our mods. So we need some mods to call. I'm gonna use my favorite one. So let's, because we need to make a mod. I want a better name, but we'll make Hello Mod again. We made it last time, I think. So my creation kit should already be set up to write to Hello Mod. It is. Let's boot her on up. Boot it up. Boot on up. Boot it up. Boot on up. Save Hello Mod. And we'll make a quest. Hello Mod quest. Say okay, and reopen it, and then let's add our code to like the I was gonna say let's add our code to the script quest, but really what we want is a spell that we can keep casting, and every time we cast the spell it's gonna call some code. That'll be way easier for learning how to use other people's code. So let's make a spell. Hello Mod spell, call other people's code. It's a fire and forget, and it'll complain because we don't have an effect, and we'll make the effect. And don't let me forget, like I always do, to connect the two, because it'll crash the magic menu. Hello Mod effect, whatever. Give it a magic skill so that it'll show up. We'll say conjuration, and we'll make it a fire and forget, and we will give it a script in a moment. Let's associate it with the spell first. Right there. I've done this before. Watch your way through beginner basics if this is new. Cool, there's all of our stuff. And for the effect, let's make a script so that when it gets cast, we can do a thing. We've done this a bunch of times. Hello Mod effect script. And okay, and save. And as always, what I'm going to ask you to do is go to the effect, right click on this, and well, are we going to switch to Visual Studio Code yet? Am I going to switch over there? Now let's install a mod for us to call. It'll be my favorite mod. My favorite mod to use all the time. And it's called Papyrus Util. We're writing all of our code in Papyrus, and we want Papyrus Util. Get the SE version of it, and it is by, is this by Expired, or am I thinking of them from somewhere else? This is from Exiled Viper. Expired is UIExtensions. Exiled Viper, I think Papyrus Util is the only thing they posted on Nexus, and it's amazing. So download it using your favorite mod manager. If I do that, it's probably going to complain because I've done it before. Download started. No, I won't download it again. Let me just go to install it. So I'm going to set it up in Mod Organizer, but as always, you know, you should be editing the code in your mod, your Hello Mod effect script, and Control S compiling it in here when I switch to Visual Studio Code in just a minute. But first, let me head on over to Mod Organizer 2. Go to my downloads. Here's Papyrus SE. Install it. Now you can give it the full name, and if you're using Vortex, you don't really have an option. But I'm just going to call it Papyrus Util, and you'll see why. Well, actually, maybe you won't. It won't matter for you unless you're using Visual Studio Code. If you're using Visual Studio Code, go watch my 5-episode series on my mod authoring setup and getting it quickly set up. And then you'll see how to do stuff like this. But Papyrus Util, just turn it on, and once it's turned on, we'll get some cool scripts. So here's our data folder as Skyrim sees it right now. If you're using Mod Organizer 2, if you're not, then you can just look in your data folder. And I'm going to turn on Papyrus Util. And we'll see a bunch of extra files get put in here. Actor util, JSON util, misc util, object util, Papyrus util, storage util. And we also get a source directory, which is super cool. If I refresh, the source directory goes away. And if I refresh again after turning it on, we get a source directory with a sub scripts directory. With all these PSC files, we're going to learn how to do this ourselves in the next episode and sort of why to do it. You may know from some of my episodes that I've mentioned the creation kit, especially the first episode in my mod configuration menu, Sky UI. We went over this a bunch. When you install the creation kit, it by default puts all of your PSC, Papyrus source code files, into source scripts, and that's where it looks for files. We configured that to be in scripts source. So our creation kit looks in scripts source to find PSC files to compile against. So if we want to use one of these cool things that's shipped with Papyrus Util, we want to use this thing called Actor Util, or we want to use this thing called Storage Util, or JSON Util, or misc Util. We're going to write code, and it's going to say like misc-util dot something, and when Creation Kit tries to compile it, it's going to go look for misc-util in either data scripts source misc-util.psc. It's going to look for that file, or it's going to look for source scripts, like data source scripts misc-util.psc. You need to have that file in one of those places, or Creation Kit won't compile. Both are popular with different modders. Usually people put their stuff in script source. Your stuff might be in source scripts, and that's totally fine. It doesn't matter. So what Papyrus Util has done is they provide all of their PSC files in source scripts. So it'll work for Creation Kit folks by default who don't change their config. And they also put their files into scripts source. It doesn't matter how you have it configured. Doesn't matter. It's going to compile fine for you. You don't have to worry about this stuff, even though I'm telling you all about it. It's just going to work. This isn't going to work necessarily for some other modders things. Like maybe we'll look at UIExtensions right before we bail to give an example of using someone else's code. Papyrus Util is super easy to use. Turn it on in Vortex, or turn it on in Mod Organizer 2, whatever you're doing, and then go back to Creation Kit, and maybe I'll go to Creation Kit with you. I will. I'll go to Creation Kit with you. And we're going to load up Hello Mod. And we're going to go to that spell. We'll go to the spell effect. So there's Hello Mod. Here's our mod effect. Edit source. And I'll do this in Notepad. So here we go. That's the beginning of it. I'll make it big. Let's say when you cast a spell, we're going to do something, and we'll use one of those new functions that's provided from this Papyrus Util. And then we'll look at what's in the Papyrus Util mod zip file that it gave us, I guess. Event on effect start actor target. We've done this before. Actor caster. If I always mistype it like that. I bet if you go back to all my videos, I like always mistype it the exact same way. And we could just say debug.messagebox hello from spell. We could do that, but we know what it's going to do. It's going to pop up message box from the spell. So let's use one of these Papyrus Util functions. Let's look at what Papyrus Util comes with, because it's a mod, right? We downloaded it from a mod site, so let's take a look-see. I'm going to download it manually. So here we are. You downloaded it with your mod utility thingamajigger. I'm going to download it here. Save file. It's a zip file. I'm going to open it up. I even love that it's a zip file instead of 7-zip. It just makes it more compatible with everyone. And here's a README, which is great. So the first thing you'll notice is there is no ESP file. This isn't the case with all mods that you're going to call the functions of. This definitely is not the case, but in this case, there's no ESP. So actually, this just ships with these source code files that all have global functions in them. I want to extract this so I can open up those scripts. So it's got these 4 things in it. It's got a README, which is nice. Tells us about some stuff. It's got an SKSZ directory because this was built as an SKSC plugin. This won't be the case with all the mods, but if you ever see an SKSC folder with a plugins folder and some DLLs in it, that means it's an SKSE plugin. In this case, all of the Papyrus functions that this thing adds are actually come from some native DLL. You don't have to worry about that yet. We're going to learn about that some other time. What we are going to do is we're going to go into script source and we're going to look at all these files. So there's no ESP, it just comes with these files. So let's look at some of the files. There's one called miscellaneous util. Let's look at that. It's got all kinds of documentation for a bunch of functions. Something about scanning cells. This is kind of cool. You can set the speed of the toggle-free camera, which is kind of cool. You can toggle it on and off. I think that comes with SKSE though. There's some stuff about files and folders. You can write to files and get and read from files on the file system. That's cool. That's stuff that doesn't come out of the box with Bethesda Skyrim or SKSE. Well, this one looks cool. It prints to the console, like that little tilde console. Whoop! It'll print to that console, the one that we use to COC everywhere. Let's use this. Let's see how to use it. So, because we installed this with our mod manager, Vortex or Mod Organizer 2, and Creation Kit, we can just open up our script, and all we're going to do is we're going to type, instead of debug message box, let's do misc-util print console. Let's see if it compiles. Put it in the box. Control S. It compiles. If it doesn't compile, then you probably didn't install Papyrus Util with Vortex or Mod Organizer 2. Make sure it's enabled. Make sure it's enabled. In Mod Organizer 2, it needs the checkbox. In Vortex, it needs to say enabled. So it compiles. Let's run the game, I guess. We'll COC to Riverwood, and I'll see you there in a second. Oh, now I'm about to go to Riverwood, but I got to tell you, because it's an SKSE plugin, it requires being run with SKSE. So run it with SKSE. All right, I'll see you in a sec. Okay, I'm in Riverwood. It's raining. It's raining here, and I forgot to give us the spell. So let's just use the console. Speaking of console, and let's just type help. What do we call it? Just do help hello mod. Or what do we call that spell? Hello space mod? What do we call that damn spell? We give it a name. Is it like do something? Call other people's code. Okay, I remember now. So let's just do help like other. How many other things could have other in the name? Ooh, there's a bunch. Call other. There we go. Player add spell 00801. Call other people's code. Cool. Let's cast the spell. Should be under conjuration. Whoop. Now, let's look in the console. It says hello from spell. We did a thing. You can't do this with just the base game or with SKSE. You can't do it. You need someone else's mod. Normally, if you want to print to the console like this, you use either Papyrus Util, misc-util.print console, or you use console util, which actually lets you execute random console commands, which is sweet. Let's make it do something different. Let's use one of these other things. Or should we use a different mod? Because we already learned. All the other things in this mod, let me bail because it's raining so much. All the other things in this mod, you call the same way. PapyrusUtil.getVersion. Storage util, right here, that's what it's called. Storage util.getIntValue. misc-util.write to file. let's get something else, shall we? What the hell should we get? I've got a whole series on UI extensions, and the first episode is just about getting UI extensions up and running. It's all about stuff like this. It's about where those PSC files go. And it's a good anti-pattern. It's a good example of, so maybe that's why I'll show it to you. I'll show you a good example, and I'll show you a bad example. Papyrus Util is great. It puts its PSC files everywhere, so when you install it with Vortex or Mod Organizer 2, Creation Kit just knows how to compile it. Done. UIExtensions is the worst. It's amazing. I love it. I use it for everything. It's just this one particular thing about it. It's the worst. UIExtensions. So here's UIExtensions. Find it on Skyrim Special Edition and go ahead and download it. Use the Mod Manager download. I'll use a manual download because I've already got it. Cool. And I'll extract it. And I mean, I could try and make it compile with Creation Kit installed like this. I'll install it with the Mod Manager the way you're doing it. Let's see if it works. Because what we'll get in our data folder is Bubkiss, really. I'm going to run Creation Kit and then load up Hello Mod. And then I'm going to go to that effect source code. Oakley dokley. Back in the Hello Mod effect script, here's what we got. We got this from last time. Let's put something here from this UIExtensions amazing mod. We want to use UIExtensions to make something pop up because it makes UI widgets pop up. So we can go to its homepage, and at the bottom there's a little code sample right here. Just copy and paste this code sample. See the code sample? It's on the page. I'm just going to copy and I'm going to paste it in. Yeah, I can't do that in Notepad. Cool. I'm just copying it and I'm pasting it in. And I'm going to put that in my, oops, my mouse died. Ooh, that means I can't even pause. Oh no, I can't pause. All right. I can't pause without a mouse. That's how fast I got a new mouse. I got a lot of these. They're nice mice. Alright, let's put this in and save. Ooh, this one's running slower. I gotta hit the buttons to make it faster. It's too slow. Still too slow. That's better. I'm gonna Control S save. It doesn't compile. It says UIExtensions is undefined. Well, if we go over here, we can see that it damn well is defined because we installed the mod, right? Now, this will work for users. So when people who want to play a mod that has UIExtensions as a dependency, this will work. But if you want to write a mod that uses UIExtensions, it doesn't work. So let's see what's going on. So I downloaded this manually. And just like last time, we opened up this Papyrus Util folder, and we found the script in the source, right? And it doesn't have an ESP. Now I extracted the UIExtensions into its own folder. Same deal. It does have an ESP, and there's no script directory, no scripts, and no source. So there's no PSC files, and that means your users, if you are writing this mod yourself, they can't compile any of their scripts. So we gotta go into this BSA using Bethesda Archive Extractor, and which you can get off of Nexus, And we're going to have to extract this. So I'm going to just extract the whole thing to like my downloads folder. And see what we got. So this is Bethesda Archive Extractor. Just Google search or whatever. Search for BAESSE. And then we get the scripts directory. And inside that, it's got a source directory. And I'm going to open this up the same way that I opened up Papyrus Util. Now here is UIExtensions.psc. Now you can already tell it doesn't have all those comments like the other one did. If you go through here, there's like very few comments. Very few comments. Now in your own code, for your own mods, you don't need to write a bunch of comments. Just name your functions and your variables well, and you're good. You're golden. If you're writing stuff for other users, it's kind of good to comment your code. I'm not, what's the right word? I'm not dissing UI extensions. I use this and I freaking love it. I'm sorry to, I think it's Expired, who's the UI extensions author, that I'm using your mod as an example of an anti-pattern here. I have an entire playlist just about UI extensions. That's how much I love it. So what do? We need these PSC files. How are we going to do it? So the easiest thing for you to do, honestly, is for you to just go to your data directory. So your Skyrim Special Edition, Skyrim Special Edition data folder, and then go into scripts or source, whichever one you got. You go into either source scripts or scripts source, and this is where your 13,910 Papyrus source code files from the base game should be, either in script source or source scripts. And just copy them over. Copy them over. If I do this, let me go ahead and do it right now. I'll keep them selected because I don't want to do it this way. Let me Control S to compile. Ta-da! Compilation succeeded. Woo! Now, if you're using Vortex or Mod Organizer 2 and you want to be able to not have UI extensions always in your data directory, like permanently, I'm going to delete these. My recommendation to you is to go into your mods folder, wherever it is, and just make a new folder called like UI extensions scripts or something. And then into that folder, you can go to that downloaded, extracted UI extension script source, and you just put the scripts directory in here. And now from your mod organizer, be it Vortex or Mod Organizer 2, it works the same way. Just go and enable this. Go and enable it, and what will happen is if we look at the data directory and I enable this, I refresh, then in the script source, we'll get all the UI extensions scripts. We should. Fire engine's going. Cool. And there they are. So if you use Vortex, you can use Vortex to push this in your data directory, head on into your data directory. If you're using source scripts, then you're going to want to go into that little mod that you just made, the one called UI extension scripts, and you're going to want to call this source, and then you're going to want to call this scripts, and then you won't need the PEX files in here. So really, what I have found, and Papyrus Util is the best example of this for me, and I've learned from them, when you make a mod that you want other people to use your code, you should ship it with a source scripts directory with the PSC files and a script source directory with the PSC files, so that makes it easy for everyone. So now, even though I don't have the UI extensions manually copied and pasted into my data directory anymore, I made this little mod called UI extension scripts, and if I load up my hello mod, which uses it, I'll actually be able to compile my effect here. And I can compile. So cool, and that should open up a wheel. I mean, if we actually go into the game, we cast a spell, I'll see you there. Cool, I haven't tried it yet, but I just used the console to add the spell again. You know, normally we use a player script or a quest script to do that for us. Whatever. We've done that in the series before. It's a wheel. It's a wheel. I can't actually click on it because that demo code on the website doesn't make it enabled. Check out my wheel menu screencast in the UIExtensions playlist. I got one all about the wheel menu. You can add icons, you can add colors, you can do all kinds of stuff. It's sweet. There's a small chance it's not out yet, but it should be released. I recorded it a while ago. So, yeah, we used other people's code. The big thing we learned is it's all about the PSCs, baby. You gotta have those PSCs, and you gotta have them in the right spot, or you can't compile the code. Some of the mods may have ESP files, it's fine, some won't. Usually everyone's functions that you call will be global functions. In the last episode when we looked at script instances, we kind of barely looked at global functions, and I think we've made them throughout the series a couple times. They're easy to call and you don't need an instance of anything. We'll be making global functions in the next episode when we make something that other people can call. We're going to make a mod that other people can download as their mod and use it, but not as their mod. They're going to make another mod using your mod. They're going to make a mod with your mod. What the hell should it be about? I want to record that in like 5 minutes and I have no idea. I don't know. I wish this were Twitch. Oh my god. Alright. I'll see you in just a second as we start to make a script that other people will be able to download and run from their mods to do something cool. Alright. Peace out. See you everyone. Happy modding. Bye-bye.